Hi, Jacob Bach, wanting to give you a second testimony. I was wanting to give you a second testimony, but I was on the street on Monday night, and I was talking to a colleague of mine, Mark, and I said, Mark, it's your turn to preach. And he says, do I have to preach tonight? I says, you don't have to preach. He says, if you want to preach, you can preach. I says, well, I could preach, but I don't really want to preach. And there we were going back and forth because we had already been an hour on the street. And I was so wanting just a great testimony. And I said, you know what? After our night of evangelism, I said, I don't think I'm going to be recording this one. And then all of a sudden it came to me. I go, well, why not? Why not record one of the nights that weren't so spectacular? Because, not every night we're on the street is spectacular. So we got out on Monday night, and it just seemed like it was out of tune. I mean, we would preach, we did some songs, but there was so much noise. None of the holy hush, none of that beautiful presence of the Lord where it just comes down and people are magnetized and stuck to the floor, and everything was so forced. And then we had a heckler, which we rarely ever get hecklers, and he was just ranting and raving and calling us liars and idiots and that we're wasting our time. And then he started getting involved with all our soul winners and discouraging them. And we got to the very end, and neither of us wanted to preach. And I said, no, let's just quit. And so we quit at about 9:20, which is a little earlier than normal. But then I got to thinking, was it really that bad of a night? I mean, for one, Jesus says, go out into all the world and I will be with you. So he was with us. For two, we did preach a couple of times. People did stop. People did listen. Our soul winners did talk to them. I even saw a few people praying for the people on the street. We gave out hundreds of tracts. We gave out probably 50, 60 Gospels of Luke. I mean, it really wasn't that bad of a night. And the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, and the angels, they were all there. They were all working hard too. So we didn't feel the goosebumps. So we didn't feel the glory come down. We love it when it happens. But yet, when it was all said and done, I said, you know what? We were faithful. We did what God wanted us to do. And even though we didn't physically see such great results, I feel really good in my heart because I know that the word doesn't return void. And I know that the word that we did preach, even though it seemed like it was a little out of tune, I know that it got to its destination, to the heart, and that the Holy Spirit is capable of taking that and running with it. So yeah, I talked about it. It's a testimony. It's a testimony just of the faithfulness of the team that was going to go out there. And even though every night's not a glorious night, every night's a great night because we're out there and we're obedient to the Lord. So encouragement to you all that are out winning souls and out doing evangelism and even doing church services or even attending a church service, even though it's just not totally glorious the way we want it, God's still there and He's still glorified.